All right, welcome to Minor Disturbance Radio, episode 15, and we've got a special show for you guys. We got 1152 here with us, and we're hanging out. You might be asking, where in the fuck is Minor Disturbance Radio this time? And right now, we're actually at Real Track Studio in the performance room. Is that what we call this, a performance room?
Live room.
In the live room at Real Track Studio, one of our sponsors. And Rob was nice enough to let us use the room, and here we are. And don't make fun of me because I'm wearing shades. I feel that way today. That's just how I feel. The boys at 1152 are pissed that we don't have the intro music, so they decided they wanted to sing it for you guys.
Ain't gonna happen.
Oh, no, it's not gonna happen. No, it's not gonna happen.
Man.
I came into the room from getting a cup of coffee, and they're all in here singing the song, and I felt extra special. I put my shades on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I felt like a true rock star.
Now
over
they're
here.
backing down.
Yeah, they're reneging.
You know. Actually, I think Trav was the instigator on it. He started singing.
I was the
first.
instigator both times, man, but you know.
Yeah.
He actually does the guitar solos too.
We'll take the fall.
I mean, I can do it anytime, so.
All right. So,
It's good to see you guys, though.
yeah, absolutely.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
So, like, everybody knows that watches MDR. This is really weird to do this without the headphones, by the way, because I can't tell, if my voice sounds nice and deep, radio style, or if I just sound like Travis,
Right. Oh,
Hey, everybody, it's
But
so I don't have a radio voice. It's a fact.
that's really odd. So we're getting used to this scenario here. We might do this more often when we have a lot of people, because I wanted to have the whole band here when we talk about 1152, because it's one of my favorite bands around here. I have to say one of, just, so that nobody gets pissed off, like Travie, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, on one of the episodes, I talked about 3 Years Hollow and how they came out of here, and like how 1152 is a local band still, and I consider 3 Years Hollow more of a national band now.
Because they are.
When I say my favorite local band, I don't want to exclude anybody else out, because you guys are still the fucking underdogs, and I'm still pushing for you guys, and I swear to God you're going to be where they're at and beyond, if everything goes well. If I have anything to do with it. So anyway, what's going on? You guys got a new record that you just recorded here, right?
Yeah. Yep. Parts of it here.
Well, and first of all, sorry, I don't mean to cut you off.
Hey,
again,
it's
but,
cool, man. It's cool.
But Dusty gave me a copy of the new CD here. I don't know.
Mike brought that.
Mike brought it. Oh, you brought it for me?
Per request.
Okay, this is actually the new release.
It's from
all of us. It's kind of like
from all of us, man.
This is Day After Day. I don't know where the cameras are anymore because I'm not used to here. So, but anyway, so this is Day After Day, and I don't know if you guys just put the sticker on one CD for me, but apparently you are trying to promote Minor Disturbance Radio on here with a sticker on the outside
all
of it.
of the copies that we have.
Really?
That
That's
sticker.
amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
About 300 of
amazing.
them. Yeah.
I can't thank you enough for that. That's really cool. That's really cool, of you
Yeah,
guys.
man. We can't thank you enough,
Yeah, but with
Treat us real good.
well, you guys are a good band. The reason why I like having you on my show and trying to promote you on MDR, because everybody that watches is like 1152 all the time. You guys have been on like 3 episodes now, so and
You play us and plug us all the time.
absolutely
We appreciate that.
People,
Absolutely.
they're probably fucking sick of it.
It's almost mainstream radio.
Is Brian is Brian just openly licking 1152's ass? That's the question.
Yes. Yes.
I'll tell you what I like about 1152. And 1152 is a band that has a lot of talent. I love the songwriting. It's very creative. It's structured very well, melodic. It's hooky. I can't get it out of my head. I go to bed at night with the fucking song stuck in my head. Wake up in the morning first thing. My daughter is 3 years old. She's singing this shit, and I feel like that's it's good stuff. And really, what I'm doing as a 41-year-old man that's day has came and gone is when I hear your music and I see you guys, I feel young again. I kind of live vicariously through you. You have hope, and that gives me hope just because I can be a part of it in a way. So that's the reason I have so much love for 1152.
You want to jam a song with us or something?
I'm not that talented. You heard the intro music. I'm not that good.
I don't know. That's a pretty good rip at the beginning, man. That's a pretty good rip.
man.
It's all synthesizers.
Yeah, right.
But so tell me, guys. I mean, there's a couple songs on here And we'll get to the fun. We'll talk about bullshit here in a second, but I really want people to understand this because sometimes people click on this thing, they listen to the first 10 minutes of it, and then they say, "Fuck these guys." I don't like Brian Miner anyway. But there's a couple of these that were already recorded.
Yes.
Yep.
And can you tell me, was that released, or is it something that just you gave me and I fell in love with? Because I already know a few of these songs.
Those couple tracks we just felt could be better captured. So that's why we enlisted real tracks.
Okay.
I think there was a few people though that were like requesting them too. They kind of wanted a few of the one or two of the older tunes on a newer CD to kind of jam to. So we that
Plus they had
and
changed.
wanting to
We
redo
had changed
them,
parts.
Yeah.
So
Rewritten parts.
Did you start from scratch on them, or how did the
No.
conversion work?
Yeah, we started from completely re-recorded.
Okay,
All tracks were brand new.
I see.
Yeah, we didn't use anything from the old.
Song structure is all the same.
Yeah,
Right.
but we would
Re-recorded.
we upped the tempo on all of them. We added, a lot of your fills were different, I think, because you.
Up the tempo. That's my bad.
Yeah, right.
No, it's your good.
You just got to rein
It's
it
your
in.
good.
Yeah, man,
you
they
worry.
needed to
You
be
gotta rein it
faster.
in.
They
Yeah.
did. They needed to be because live you're always
Well, you
playing way
snap 'em up.
faster. Yep.
Yeah, you snap them
Yep.
up. You make them a little
You,
bit.
you're
little
up there.
snappier.
You're excited. And
Plus,
pumped.
you're excited.
Yeah.
You get that feeling
Yeah.
like, yeah.
Comes
Well,
out a
first of
little
all, in
faster.
case people are watching this for the first time again, 1152 is 4 guys, and we've got Dusty Smith, the singer and guitar player. Right? You guys want to introduce yourselves, or do you want me to introduce you?
You just
We'll
did
let you
a
do
fine
it.
job. I appreciate that. Thank you,
Ladies
brother.
and gentlemen, coming to the table.
Yeah. Well, the last time we did this, let me see. It was the second episode that I put out as MDR, and we didn't call it an episode at that point. It was just Minor Disturbance Radio with 1152. It was just Steve and Dusty, and these two buttholes were like, "Mimdy, what?
Yeah, we're not doing
Who's this guy?" Anyway, so no, they weren't like that. They just couldn't make it. But now we do have one of my favorite drummers in the area, and I have to say one of, just because my drummer would get pissed off if I said my favorite, right? All right, my favorite drummer in an original band.
Hey, if I'm your favorite, I need a fan. It's hot as fuck in here.
I gotta tell you, because I was kind of being a stalker, watching you guys from the side, because I know Dusty pretty good. I've known him for a while through, because he was in Marianas with Travis, and I really liked that material too. I knew that Dusty was super talented, and he, and with him and Travis together, I was like, ah. So by the time that I saw the whole band 1152 emerge, I was kind of standing on the sideline seeing what they had going on here, and I remember standing on the side of the stage. It was up at Uptown, I want to say, and
Oh boy.
Bettendorf. Well, listen, if you guys are worried about what it sounded like out front, it didn't matter because I wasn't standing out front. I was standing next to the side of the stage, because that's what I do. I go right to the drummer.
Was that Bird's birthday bash? They are gone?
They are gone.
They are gone?
Oh, you can eat
I
hot
think
dogs.
I remember that.
They are
yeah.
gone.
I don't remember what the event was. I just knew I was lucky enough to sneak out and be there.
All the was because I think we got free drinks there all the time. So we
What are you talking
Maybe
about?
Maybe you fucking dickhead.
because you said Uptown, all of 4 of us were like,
okay.
oh god.
Yeah, I get that all the time too, guys. People come up to me and they go, "Oh man, you were in Drop Hammer. I saw you open for Dockin at the Pigpen." I go, "Oh, not that gig, man. Not good, not good." That was 3 microphones, and they told us we had 30 minutes to play, and then Robbie Barr comes up to us after 30 minutes and goes, "You guys got another 30? Play, 30." We were only ready for 30 minutes.
Oh, that never
we're like,
happens.
"I want you to want," after playing our shit. You know what I mean? We should have told them, "Stick it. You said a half hour, we're done." Anyway, when I start to watch a band, I go right for the rhythm section for some reason. I mean, I know the hooks there, I know that you can sing, and I know the guitars are a dime a dozen, but a good drummer is hard to find. And this motherfucker over here was stomping. And I didn't know him from Adam, and I was surprised that in my world, in my musical, I'm going to use my power word, which is vernacular. I've used it on every episode. I'm going to use it on every episode after this one, too, because I learned a new word. But anyway,
You got to use them.
it's a Travis word, man. Come on.
Word, man. So are you saying that they are ubiquitous?
See, this,
I don't even know what the fuck that means.
this just confuses the fuck out of me.
Yeah. He's gonna leave here like, so do they like our band or not? I don't know.
Drummer talk,
I think they insulted us, man. I'm really angry.
But anyway, so I always go right to the drummer because that's the legitimacy of a metal band to me, and I consider you guys a metal band.
We do too. Thank
Yep.
you.
So yeah, I go right to the drummer because if the drummer's not hanging for real on the stage, then I don't want to hear your recordings because I know what you're going to do to it. It's going to be Pro Tools. It's going to be fake. But if you go to an 1152 show, aside from some of the vocals that I've told you guys that I wish that I could hear that were on the record that I heard, all the musicianship is there.
You haven't heard
the
us play in a
band.
while.
Everybody I talk to about, and this sounds like I'm sucking balls now, but everybody that I talk to about 1152, they say the same thing, and it's the same word that they use. Tight as a motherfucker.
Well, we practice
And it's-
hard, man.
That's what I was going to ask you guys. Tell me how often you practice.
2 nights a week. It's 2 nights a week for the last, what?
3 years.
3 years?
4 now.
I mean,
Almost
4 years.
man.
You know, I get sick of fucking looking at these guys.
That's right. I think that's right where you want to be.
Like, my thing is I'm all about wanting to write new music and get new product out there. And fucking Freeberg every time's like, hey, man, we got to play the fucking set. Like, you got to be fucking kidding me, dude. Like, can't we write something? But you know what? I'm glad that he does that because, yeah, I mean, people say that night after night after night. You know, even when we think we've had a bad show, people are like, whoa, you know, you guys were fucking tight. You guys were spot on, you know. It sounded great. And we're like, really? This fucking sounded like shit tonight, you know? Like, but, you know.
I'll tell you that, you know, the audience doesn't hear what you hear. I've been through that for years and years and years. They're seeing an energy. They're seeing an overall performance. If you miss a little lick here or you miss a little lick there and down the road, they see the overall average of everything. And if they like it, they're going to let you get by on a flub. They're going to let you get by on that because they like the band as an overall thing. If it was a constant irritating vocal guy that, you know, I don't want, and you guys sound like that, then like, oh, fuck this. But listen, everything seems to work.
Man.
Everything fits.
That's what I've been going for the past 5 years, man.
All right.
Our next album.
I didn't mean to steer your direction that way.
You know what though? There's another part of this too, though, and I think this is an important thing to bring up is that if you take yourself performance-wise to the point where you can do everything that you do in your show second nature without having to think about playing, that makes it so you can be involved with the audience. You can be involved with enjoying each other's company on stage in the presence of an audience. And
Yeah.
Have you ever seen Metallica play One?
yes,
Without a piano player? No.
What?
They just did that at the Grammys.
that's
Oh, okay. That was
without a
horrible.
full orchestra.
Yes.
That was horrible.
No.
You know what that's like? That's like, what do I always use the same scenario. I say that's like having a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with cheese on it. Cheese is good on anything but peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
I'd eat that.
Just like a concert pianist is good, but not on a Metallica song.
Yep.
Fuck off.
You're right there.
I don't want piano on
Yeah,
my
I've
Metallica
seen
song.
that too. It was really
If I want
fucked
piano,
up.
I'm going to seek out piano.
Right.
And the people that like the piano were like, "Shut that Metallica band up! I want to hear him play piano." So I don't like the convergence of these way dramatically different styles.
I didn't like that thing they did with Lou Reed either.
No, that was horrible.
Well, that's just weird.
was.
That's just weird.
That's what happens when you run out of time and you're just bored with shit, and you're like, "What can we do now to get more publicity?" Right?
Yeah, it was weird.
I don't
You
know.
guys might end up there. 1152. It's 2025. 1152 with what's Kenny G?
Yeah, right.
Kenny G.
right. Yeah, right.
Oh, he's going to be dead by then.
This song's called Slap Chop.
Oh, he did.
No, you were going to say something about Metallica. If you've ever seen the band Metallica play the song One, where
Yeah.
are you going with that?
Well, I'm going that I've never seen him play the song One tightly. Lars Ulrich cannot do the double bass part at the end.
Kurt can't play the solos.
They can't. Well, Kurt's a mechanic though. He pretty much does them as close as he can. I think he just kind of gets bored and starts doing his own thing sometimes, because I've seen some stuff where Kirk Hammett nails it in the past. You know, back when they were still hungry a little bit, when they were first coming into money. And, you know, it just seems like the drummer, Lars is not as good a drummer as he came across as on the records, you know.
They worked him a lot on those sessions to get him
Yeah.
to play it right. I mean, but even at that, I've seen him do it twice, and the first time he played it perfectly, and then the next time I saw him, he was drunk as shit. And
that might have been what
he
it was.
Couldn't play the end of it at all. It was really disappointing. But
Yeah.
See, that's what it ends up being. You see a band that's your favorite band, and you happen to catch them one time out of like a 300 show tour, and it just might have been one of them nights that they just blew it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I
What-
saw him not too long ago, 2008, I think it was, or 2009, Death Magnetic.
It was 8.
Yep.
And they had just started their tour. They were like 4 shows into it, maybe 3, and they came
fresh.
to the Mark or the iWireless.
That's one of your favorite bands in the world, isn't it?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You know, I
And
see it.
it
I see
sounded
it with the
terrible,
Explorer
terrible.
and the.
In fact, Ulrich had to stop playing on one of the songs off Death Magnetic to like figure out where he was in the song
Whoa.
and get back on it.
Fucked
yeah.
up, hammered. That
Yeah.
you can't play hammered.
I don't
That's
think
what
he
I
was
mean.
hammered.
Is
I
that-
just
is
think
that
it was
fair? I think it might be tough
new
for
enough.
him.
It's too new to him.
Too new to him, but I mean, this is kind
But
of
look at their library of songs too.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's huge. But I mean, this
And they
is kind
play
of
a
where
lot of them.
professionalism kicks in. What really makes the appearance of professionalism really is taking yourself past the point of the desire to play the songs into a more overarching desire to be able to play them so extraordinarily well that it's almost perfect and flawless. And I was gonna bring up artists like if you go see Neil Diamond, you know what I mean? He's saying,
Rock and roll,
he's
buddy. I love
he's
Neil
saying-
Diamond.
Yeah, Neil Diamond. If you go to see Neil Diamond, which he's got some good songs. He's a great songwriter. But you go to
LA's
see Neil
fine.
Diamond.
The sun shines most of the time.
What?
The feeling is laid back. What? I'm doing Neil Diamond.
But if you go to see Neil Diamond, everything's gonna be perfect. You think
Oh, would
he's-
you
think
would
he's
you
not
recognize?
tired?
I'm sorry. Would you recognize? They're coming to America.
Right.
Better-
Forever in Blue Jeans.
I
That
would.
would-
Perfect, man.
I would.
Yeah, yeah.
Or what's
Sweet
the other
Caroline.
one he does?
I must be a horrible singer.
Caroline,
Love on the
Sweet
Rocks?
Caroline, that's a good one.
Love on the Rock.
Ain't no big
Leave it to
surprise.
Dusty to bring up Sweet
Right.
Caroline. That's like a Kiss person, like, oh, rock and roll all night, man. That's the best song ever.
Right. Yeah. Right. Exactly.
You need to be a true Neil Diamond
I'm
fan.
not a
I need
true
to
Neil
open
Diamond
your
fan.
mind up to some
Fuck
other
you.
Neil
You don't
Diamond
even
shit.
like Neil.
But
that's right.
You don't really know Neil like I know.
Nail on the head, brother.
But I think he's okay with that.
but you can do anybody though, and what it's going to come
You
down to
could
is
do
that you could
anybody.
do anybody
And not call
who will let you do them.
Anybody else want to pull?
And
I do.
Yeah, right down here.
Edit this part out, Paul. Edit this out. How do you know what I'm talking about when I say that?
Because I watched the episode where you did that.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
No,
All of my references are Kiss references.
there
Go
are
ahead,
Kiss
Travis.
references.
I'm-
Well,
that's
you
the
could
fifth
even
time I've interrupted
but
you.
you could
I'm
even
sorry.
use Kiss too, which is to say that if you think they're not sick to death of playing those songs, I mean, they have to play them.
Right. Every time, over and over, and that's where we get to our practice
If you're
session
not
is-
bored with it, you're not doing it right.
Right.
That's kind of where I think. You know
And
what I mean?
I feel bad because I have renewed appreciation for our songs because I'm now learning all the harmony vocals, and now I have to practice them and play guitar, and it's
You're welcome.
super fucking hard.
You're
It's
welcome.
hard to, well, you could just half-ass it, but you're not going
No,
to. You're
no, I'm
going to
not
do
going
it
to.
just exactly right.
I'm not gonna half-ass it, and
Yeah.
that's the thing is like it's become part of me since we recorded this album. Now for the last 4 months, I've been listening to nothing but harmony vocals from this album
Sure.
and the last album.
It shows too.
Yeah.
and it's super fucking hard though. So now I'm like, dude, we gotta play all the songs because I have to practice them.
I find that when I sing and play, and maybe you felt like this too when you really started getting down that road, is that since it hurts your guitar playing, you feel like really exposed and vulnerable.
yeah,
about
that's-
it, you know,
yeah.
like it does make it so your guitar playing isn't as strong. While
I
you're
would be
figuring
more
it out.
comfortable.
It can't
That's
be.
hard.
It
It's
can't be.
hard.
Yeah.
I'd be more comfortable playing naked and not singing.
Now,
2
see,
practices a week though
that's
helps that a ton.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah, but these guys are coming a long way. You know, like even Steve's dabbling in like
Yeah, Steve's throwing
some of
third
the
part
some of the
harmonies
backup
in.
stuff, and
Cool.
like there's some stuff on there that I do some screaming on and things like that. And
Yeah.
when we were in recording it and doing things like that, I told these guys, I said, I kind of have something that I keep hearing, you know, and I just want to put it out there. And of course, these fucking assholes are like, why don't you just do it?
We shoved a mic in his
Yeah,
face.
so they're like, you go ahead and fucking do it.
He's
So I
talking about
fucking
second
scream
track
into
on the
this
album.
microphone,
Okay.
you know. And now they're like, you need to be able to do it live,
Recliner riff.
You know, and I'm fucking playing drums and trying to do it live.
Yeah.
And every time I try to sing the part, I'm like, ba, 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 singing along with, like,
Every syllable's a drum hit.
And you're the most
going on?
You're the most coordinated
speaking
guy in the
style.
band,
Right.
And now you see that coordination is it's a whole different level. I mean, I couldn't do what you do on the drums at all right now. I mean, I could play some simple beats and that, but I see
You could do it. A fucking chimpanzee could do what I
see
do.
you think that, and then I think that any chimpanzee could play guitar and sing or play guitar. But I've always been in the situation too. I know what you're talking about. You add that vocal on top of it. Now it's kind of got a different feel. Your hands going da 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 da, and your mouth's going dun 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 da. Right?
Right.
Yeah, that's gonna sound
it's
really
tough.
stupid when
It's-
I mix this down. But I'm just saying, when you're playing a different syncopation between your voice and your hands, that's where you separate the boys from the men.
Although
And-
drummers, I don't mean to interrupt, but drummers have kind of a leg up on that, so to speak, because of the fact that they have to develop limb independence. And when you
Yep.
add your voice, it's like
Right.
adding another limb. I mean,
Yep.
that's,
And I've
that's
seen you
what
do
it's
it.
like.
I've seen you do it. You
But
can
like,
do it.
Yeah, he can
what
do
I
it.
want to do though is like I want to do like a break in the song, like a snare drum break, and then sing a part.
You mean you went?
Yeah.
I think I want to go to the next show if you're going to do that.
But these guys are really stepping it up. They're. Would you like some of this?
No, I was just gonna say, come to the next show, bring about all that, and you'll see him do all kinds of shit.
Really?
Oh yeah, dude,
Yeah.
throwing drumsticks, fucking,
Yeah.
whatever,
A couple pasties on there with the.
But no, these guys are
He
really
lights his
stepping
nipples
it
on
up.
fire, actually.
Oh, that's
And
awesome.
you could tell, like at first,
You got a pyro
when-
guy, runs by and lights his nips on fire.
Be careful,
got a permit
be
for that?
careful what you say now. Go ahead.
Like at first, when
Takes him weeks to grow the
when
hair back.
when these guys were first working out backing vocals and things like that, you could see them kind of go. But now it's like they're really getting in there and
Yeah.
kind of trying it and really trying to work it out and I'm proud of these guys. I'm proud of you guys, man.
It's just got really sentimental and touching.
I gotta tell you guys.
Limp
We're all
dick.
grown up.
In my life, the way my life works, as far as being able to go out and see shows anymore with kids, and I have 2 kids now that I love dearly, and I love to spend time with them. So between me playing out in my bands and taking my wife out here and there, I'm limited to the times I can go see local bands anymore. And it sucks because I run a show that's about local bands, but it's hard for me to get out and see them. And I try to do it as much as I can. And I'll tell you, on the 19th, when you guys are going to play at Rascals for your CD release, big old plug right there. I didn't mean to do it that way, but we have it all lined up, and I've had it lined up for a long time so I can make the show. As a matter of fact, the day before that, I'm getting my nuts cut, and I'm still going to be there.
What?
Oh, yeah.
Attaboy.
Oh, yeah.
The big
Dedication.
V.
Oh, yeah.
Dedication.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm getting my penis. I'm getting my penis.
Otherwise,
I was gonna say if you were gonna if you were gonna tell me that you weren't if you were gonna say you weren't gonna be at the CD release, I was gonna get up and
leave.
knock over that drum kit.
Oh no! My wife and I talked about it, and I'm having my vasectomy. God damn, that word sounds so gross.
Yes, it does.
It really does.
It does,
Really
and
does.
so I'm having
Nuts
that
cut is way better.
nuts. Well, I just tell my 3-year-old, I say, Daddy's gonna get his wee wee tied in a knot.
She thinks like a balloon animal. You know what I mean?
Well, no, but you can see her head. She's like, "What is that, Daddy?" And I say, "Well, Daddy's got to get his wee wee tied in a knot." And she goes, "Oh, okay." And then that satisfies her enough. She's done. I'm like, "Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to think." So, do you guys want to? You know what? I had to go to my consultation last week for having
I've
this
been
done.
to one.
You've had it done.
Well, we ended up backing out, but I've been to the consultation. It's
He
not-
got scared.
No.
Not my
That's
nuts.
a whole other story. It's
Those
fun.
are my nuts.
You get to have some dude hold your balls for a little while, tell you about what's gonna happen.
Listen here, this is my experience. So I roll into the place, right? I roll into the place. They have it way too early in the morning. First of all, I'm not in the mood for this shit.
Is it cold?
I walk into
yeah,
this office, I'm like, what is this place? And I'm me. You look at me, take it in. Okay?
Nathan
this
Explosion.
guy's walking into the office,
Nathan
the
Explosion.
urology center place, and everybody else with their broken dicks or whatever they have going on. I don't know. And I go to the counter and I'm fumbling my wallet around like, hey, I'm here supposed to take out my balls and stuff. Hey. And the girl behind the counter is a very attractive younger girl.
They all are.
And I'm like, this chick's going to know how big my dick is after this is over. Somehow, it's going to happen, right? I was like, no, this is a consultation. They ain't doing it yet. So I go back. They hook me up back in the room. The nurse is back there, and she's like, "So what you're gonna have to do? You have to shave your testicles and this and that." And I'm like, "This is cool." I answered 1,000 questions.
Well, you
cool.
do that anyway. So.
And finally,
already shaved.
And finally, yeah. So finally, the doctor guy comes in. He sits and asks me more questions, and he says the words shot, needle, numb it, both sides, and then says 2 incisions in your scrotum. Okay, these words are being flown around in the word and in the room. You know, they're floating around.
And that's when I would have
And
left.
I'm sitting in a cold ass fluorescent light, whatever room, right? And the guy's like, and then we were going to cauterize. Cauterize is a good word, isn't it? Nice word.
Yeah.
And
feels like burning.
Yeah.
as we're
Is
sitting
that
there,
anything like
as we're
burning
sitting
an
there,
instant scar?
as we're sitting there, my member is recessing into my scrotum itself.
like a turtle.
Yeah, and it's getting very frightened by these words. It heard the word shot and went, "Ho," and then it heard incision, "Ho," and then it heard cauterize. Eee. And then the man says, "Drop your pants." And I said, "What? Say who?" And I said, "Can I go in the bathroom and fluff it for a second?" And
He's like, no, I'll do it for you.
and the guy looks me right in the face and goes, "There's nothing down there that won't surprise me." And I said, "You said cauterize, man." I heard you. And then I was like, "Okay." And I pulled that thing down and I was like, "Oh, good Lord, look at that thing." You know what I mean? I'm a good man. I got a nice sized dick. You know what I mean? I'm a man. You know,
Yeah, right.
you
It's like a
little
turtle. But this guy, but this dude probably thinks like everybody's dicks are small.
Right. So
He's like,
so then he just
feels like he's got the biggest dick in the world.
the biggest dick in the world.
So I'm looking down at what appears to be a frightened turtle on a beanbag, and realize that he's moving towards me now, and he's reaching for my scrotum. And it was cold out too, so I had sweatpants and my pants on, like layered, you know. So it just looked horrible. And he just kind of like this close to me, just grabs it, shoom.
And then he talks to you.
Kind of looks at you like this, but just kind of off to the side, right? And
he
he's
didn't
like,
look
and
you in
he's
the eyes?
He said, "I just need to see what's going on down there." And he's pinching the vas deferens.
Vase deferens.
And he grabs the one side and he goes, "Everything's good there." Grabs the other side and I go, "Hi!" And he's like, "Oh, yep, that's fine. You're gonna feel a twinge on that side. That one's a little bit higher." Okay, that's good.
Feel a twinge.
So yeah, that was my experience. And then I came home and my wife was like, "How'd it go?" And I was like, "I'm not doing it." Somebody just grabbed my balls that had a penis.
Like he was grabbing a fucking goblet. He was fucking grabbing a glass.
How would
of
you like to
wine.
have that job? You guys, I'm just trying to remind you how lucky you might be to play rock and roll music instead of grabbing men's balls. Okay?
You know what? I think it would have been a lot better if he would have
out.
just gazed right into your eyes. Like, I'm just gonna grab your fucking balls here, and I'm gonna look right into your eyes.
The funny thing is, I think he did kind of give me that look. He did one of these.
Oh, you winked at you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Did he fucking wink
He
at
said
you?
you did kind of surprise me,
He knows
Mr.
he's got
Minor.
the power. He says a couple words, and all of a sudden your dick's all small, and he feels real good about himself. He does.
Did I say frightened turtle on a beanbag?
Yes.
You did.
That was
You
good.
did say that.
That was good.
You know what that is? That's Rob's coffee right there. That's the caffeine filtering through my blood system. Boom. Creating new phrases.
I'd probably have like some weird erectile distribution problem where I'd have some weird hourglass figure on my dick. Like, it looked like it was like hanging some kind of weird half chub with some kind of weird isthmus in the middle.
What is it? What is
You might
it?
want to get that
We're
checked
gonna
out.
get edited. That's gonna be edited,
Hey,
right?
Trav, go get that looked at.
Just so everybody
My nuts
knows.
looked like a fucking like it was hanging by a piece of like
Just-
melted mozzarella.
You definitely
What's up
want to
with
get that.
that?
Oh, that's just your age.
Just so everybody knows, I'm trying to run this show to where I don't have to edit at all because I want to release it Monday at least. We're recording this on a Friday. I want to have this out Monday so that people have a week to not watch it.
I'm sorry, Brian.
Yeah. So no. That's you, buddy. I don't care what you can say all you want, but when I go to watch this thing, I'm watching me. Everybody else can say stupid shit. You can sell yourself out, talk about. You can show your dick. I don't care what you do. But I'm watching me. It's like ooh, that's like.
Let me get this
Did I
all
really just say
here.
that? We can.
Oh, that's better.
Hey, have somebody film you for 3 hours, drinking and talking with your buddies. I bet you want to edit some shit out too, So
Oh, there's some drinking. Everyone's probably wondering what is in this.
Don't
but-
show
Wait a minute. We don't have.
yeah.
We don't
It's
have the
got to
rights
be
to that.
like
We don't have the rights to that right now.
That's all right. We'll
like
just
the briefcase.
it's my show, man. I
we'll
got
just
the
leave
rights
it-
to.
We'll leave it the brown bag.
Tarantino movie.
I got to stay true to my roots. Getting ready to buy a house
see,
here,
you just-
guys.
Yeah,
I'm
you getting ready
ready.
to buy a house?
Yeah,
Congratulations.
and me and the old lady are buying a house over in Rock
Show 'em the
Island. I got to
label.
stay true to my roots and
Keep her in the brown bag. There might be a few of them walking around the neighborhood.
Because you used to live behind the dumpster, behind the clipper? Or?
No, I didn't. But you know what I'm saying? People,
Close enough.
people in Rocktown, they walk around with their brown bags and they sip on whatever's in them. And we'll keep people guessing. We'll let them. Let's cover that up. We'll let them leave some comments.
Let's put a section in. Guess what Eric's drinking.
Yeah,
Right.
guess what I'm drinking
What is
this
Eric
evening.
drinking? How much has Eric had?
Well, and everyone else too. I've had enough of it so far.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing with me.
You have two, Trav.
I've had
You're gonna have another
enough
fucking
of it.
drink.
I am going to have
Hey, you know what's funny is Eric's going to watch this episode back and go, I remember talking on this episode. What happened?
It's like, when are we going to get to the turtle part?
We talk about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Big Bang Turtles.
We might need to
man.
run
We
against
talking
some more.
about
Who knows? That
There
might
a
be
new one
good
of those?
night.
There's a new one of those.
Is your
Yeah.
There is.
is Steve Sparks
Megan
checking his
Fox is in
Facebook
it.
right now on MDR?
Yeah.
He's just letting everyone know we're here.
Oh, okay, cool. He's
Just a little
twittering.
Status
That's
update.
right.
He's tweeting.
He's social.
Check
media
Can you guys tell me
finding
what
us.
the deal is with Twitter? I mean, how big of a tool that is?
I don't have
Twitter.
it.
I have Twitter. I got on there for a little bit. I have no fucking clue how that
No,
works.
we don't fuck with that. Just Facebook.
Just Facebook.
All right.
1152 does Facebook.
And Instagram.
Instagram?
We do Instagram.
What
We
is
don't do
Instagram?
Twitter.
I don't. I
It's
see my daughter use it.
basically
I don't know what it
take
is.
a picture and then instantly.
Oh,
You gram it.
Oh, kind of like on Facebook? Kind of like on Facebook where you can
And then
post
you
a
gram it.
picture of
Yeah,
on
you gram
Facebook?
it.
You can.
It's like Facebook, but with pictures.
pictures on.
You're,
Oh,
it's like
because Facebook don't have pictures, right?
Well, they do. But
What's
Right.
I mean,
it's
can
like
you do
Facebook,
captions?
but,
I mean, what
your
do you?
parents
Yeah.
aren't on it.
Oh, all
There's
right.
like all these
So dick pic.
preset
Snapchat.
filters you can
Oh,
add to your
Snapchat.
picture to make
I
them look.
see.
Okay.
I see.
Is that the
Black
one where the
and white
pictures
or-
disappear?
All right.
There's
all
a
it
bunch
is?
of different ones, you know.
You
and they
That's
make
all it is?
Do different effects to the
Okay,
picture.
yeah.
And then it goes away.
Then you
forever.
share it. You have your own little page where people can follow you, and then all your pictures that you put on there will show up on their
They're like their
when
feed,
they
like
log
their
in. You
live
know
feed.
they can see them. Or
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how any of that shit works, man. Facebook was about as far as I went, and then I was like,
me too.
Yeah,
Who
I'm sure it's good for something.
does anybody at the panel here still have a MySpace account?
A what?
I never even had one.
Actually,
Because I hear it's impossible to delete the
I do
motherfuckers.
believe that
They're all still
1152 does have a MySpace page, but I don't think we have any access to it. So
No.
it's just
I miss
out there.
MySpace because I could spam the shit out
What
of every.
songs are on there, man?
Probably.
Probably
Probably
lipstick
some-
letter?
lipstick letter. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Like
Probably
lipstick
some
letter
really
and a
old
bunch of
songs
other fucking.
From 2000.
We were
Back when you guys were a hair metal band?
8 songs. 8
That was
songs.
a long time ago.
Yeah, Dusty had long hair.
Long time ago.
8 songs, right? Or 10
What are you talking about?
that we recorded at
was
Blue.
Blue Side. It was a.
Oh, jeez.
Blue side.
We had a whole album that we recorded.
Listen.
we never-
1152?
I
did?
never
put it
knew
out.
about that.
Yeah.
We don't gotta get into
There's
that.
a reason. There's a reason
That
why
was
everybody knows
Blue
There's
Side.
a whole bunch
Blue
of songs
Side
that
was
people have never heard, but they
Whoa.
probably never will. Cause
Yeah,
Blue Side was Trent Lidholm and
that's right.
Some dude.
Hoff,
what the fuck was that other
Nick?
guy's name?
Nick,
Nick.
Hoffman,
Wait.
Holcomb.
Holcomb.
Yeah, Nick Holcomb.
He was a wholesome fella.
We called him Holcomb. Holcomb.
Ours he was. He was a good
Holcomb.
Lars. He was.
Holcomb. Yeah, yeah.
Holcomb-ania.
Say that after you've drank a bunch of the mystery bag.
Let me get to
Oh, rest in peace, Ultimate Warrior. I'm sorry.
a serious kind of subject
Dude,
that
if there was a top rope here, I would grab it and shake the shit out of it while
Hey,
You do it anyway.
Dusty,
I would tie
Dusty.
some shit around my biceps
I've been-
and make them look all veiny and huge and be like,
If there,
Dude, I've been going into unintelligible diatribes all
Yes.
night in his honor.
if there was a top
glad-
rope,
Yeah.
I would DDT Dusty off of it.
That's not even the right guy.
I don't want to lose listeners, but I don't know anything about the World Wrestling Federation or the
his signature
World
move was
Wrestling. What is the
over-the-head
WWE
press
then?
A few times and then
World
Wrestling.
Wrestling
Like entertainment.
Entertainment.
They
Okay,
lost
see, I-
WWF because the World Wildlife Fund pulled their card.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
finally.
we're talking about rock and roll. Let's,
Yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah. These guys want to.
Hey, rock and wrestling, man. Rock and wrestling.
Right? Next is NASCAR, and then we got to get through all that. But my question for you guys is, you're all in the same club I am. You all have kids, and I don't know if you're all married. Are you married?
Boy.
Are you
Oh,
married?
real close.
I got kids. No, I'm what do they call that? Common law marriage.
Well, that doesn't. That's not really the point. The point is
That's not the point. He
basically said, "Fuck you, Flores."
What I'm saying is you don't.
deserved it.
You don't have to go into that much of an explanation. I'm just saying that you don't have to expose whatever you don't want to expose about that. I'm just saying that we all kind of have the same club where we have a wife and we have children.
We have houses.
And-
Man, that's fucking
and
awesome,
the-
dude.
the idea-
Spew it, man.
The idea of me sitting down right now, because I still have music that flows in me, and I get ideas all the time that I want to sit down and write.
Real good time.
And that was at least 8 years ago.
It's good stuff, though.
So, but once I had kids and got married, it's very difficult. I knew that when I did the kids thing, I was putting down, my guns were on the table, and I was taking my holster off, and I was going to sit by the fire and live my life, from the outside looking in. And as far as that goes, it's hard for me to write songs. That's, because I can't sit in my studio at my house and start coming. My 3-year-old be in there plucking on my strings, turning knobs, and daddy, all this stuff. So how in the hell do you guys find the time, and how does that work with the family? Is there any friction? Does the family ever get like the band's more important than your family? Because there's got to be a balance there,
Mike, he writes riffs in the recliner.
As a matter of fact, I do.
Yeah.
That's
Is that why
second
there's track 2 is recliner riff?
Yeah, I don't have any problems telling everybody that song wrote right upstairs in my living room while my kids were tugging on the guitar, and I might or might not have been in my underwear.
He was.
Kind of underwear, though.
Say
tighty whities. Say tighty whities.
No, I don't own them.
Damn.
They were fucking Batman.
They were underoos, man. Underoos.
We're here to try to sell this record, guys. Okay.
Our wives and or girlfriends or fiancés, they all support us like to the utmost.
Yep, they do.
They understand that Monday nights and Thursday nights and most of the weekends, it's band time.
Yep.
And
They know.
they know.
Well,
And they like, at least I know my wife goes out of her way to like help make it happen.
Yeah, they bend over backwards, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
I know your wife does because we practice at Mike's house.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
It's like making
You know,
cookies and dinner.
when you got
She cooks.
kids.
She cooks food. I eat it. Stuff like that. Yeah.
Hey, you know what, guys?
Buffalo chicken.
Are you gonna let me spin something off of
Yeah.
here, or what's up?
Yeah,
Can
play
you guys?
recliner
Because I
riff,
know
man.
that you didn't want to.
Play recliner riff.
That's an exclusive, though. You haven't released.
Play it, though.
Hey, why not, man?
You guys, you're gonna.
Let's do it.
What is it? Cheech Marin showed up.
Am I hosting okay, man? No, I can do that better, man. I can do that better. Hold on.
Right.
I gotta do both sides. Quit fucking with me. I can do this.
Date tastes like, man.
That's not a joint, man. No, I did too much. That's not a joint, man. Hey, man, you want to get high, man?
Hey, there you go.
I'm getting better. Rob can probably do it way better than me. But anyway, if I watch Cheech and Chong, like right after it, I could do it really good. But right now,
my dog around with
so.
a baggie for 3 days, man.
Got some Labrador.
Hey, what's that one when he comes out of his sister's place with the fucking the big bag and he's like, "Come on, man, just let me smell it, just one time, man, and he fucking shoves his face and he's like, "Hey, man, that's soap, man.
Here, drink this.
I like it when they get high and then they're talking and they're like, this is this kind of weed, and like, be careful, man, and then all of a sudden it cuts and they're stopping, smoke's rolling out. He's like, am I driving okay, man? And Cheech goes, I think we're stopped, man. And he's like, wow, man. And so they're far away from a telephone pole too. So, anyway, we gotta get back to. I want to play a recliner riff on here, and if you guys don't mind, we can release this on MDR, and everybody can get a taste of what 1152 is. Because I really want to get into you guys' heads. I want to get a little bit. I mean, it's all fun and games to talk about, the funny shit, but I really want to get into you guys' heads as
What do you
far as
wanna know?
musicians and human beings, so that people understand.
Like the full breakdown of that song. If the full breakdown of Recliner Riff would be that it started with Mike. Mike wrote the skeleton of that song.
Upstairs,
The
in
basic-
my living room with my kids.
in his
bothering-
Batman underwear."
Yep.
My Batman underwear.
Mike wrote the verse and the chorus,
Yeah.
riff wise, and he brought it to us at band practice, and then we kicked it around for probably at least
6 months,
7
months.
or 8 months, I would
God
say,
damn.
where Eric hated it. Eric was never on board with the song. He thought
He
thought it sucked. Yeah.
Thanks for fucking. Hey, thanks for fucking pointing me out like I'm the fucking super dick.
Yeah, but you're my favorite super dick. But what I was gonna ask is, at that point, did you had a verse and a chorus?
Yeah.
Did you have any other
On
material?
guitar.
Just on guitar?
Just on
Yep.
guitar. That's it. And I was like, hey, guys, check this out. And I was like, and then I was like, okay, now what do you guys think?
Yep. And they were all like, well,
They're like, well, where's the
it's
rest of
something
it?
but ain't finished.
Where's the rest of it?
That's
And you know what?
my problem, right?
I fucking hated it, and then it was weird because
And
there was
It's a
one
riff.
night.
It's a riff, dude.
It's riff-tastic.
Yeah.
There was
Yes.
one night.
So I was fully on board because the riffage in it is.
Well, let's play the fucking
hang on,
song,
hang on.
and then we can talk
Let's
about
let
it.
Eric- let's
Okay.
let Eric
We're
say-
not there yet, man.
God damn it! I know I sit in the back, but let me fucking
All right, go
talk
ahead.
for
So
a minute.
You hated it. Eric hated it.
Mike.
They came at me and was like, hey, you know, Mike was like, what do you think of this riff? Yada yada yada. And I'm like, I just don't know. You know, I'm not really feeling it. Whatever, you know. And I have a tendency to, and I don't mean to do it. I push the band, and I push, and I push, and I push, and I'm like, guys, we can do better, we can do better, we can do better, you know. And a lot of times these guys will get all fucking heated up, and you know.
Well, nobody likes to be told that their shit isn't up to snuff.
I'm
you
not
know?
saying that, but I'm saying like, I'm saying,
Yeah,
what-
they're
what
all
can we
powwowing saying they can do better for a drummer, probably. I'm just kidding. I don't think
Hey,
they can.
listen,
It is
I wish they'd fucking try it. What I'm saying is that I push us to be the best that we can, and I don't mean that we're not good and that we don't do our jobs well, but what I'm saying is that is this the best that we can do, or can we do better? You know, do you want to try other options? Do you want to see what we can do? You know, different. But they came at me with this riff. Mike came at me with this riff and was like, "Hey, you know, what do you think?" And at first, I'm like, I don't know. You know,
For 3 months.
sounds kind of fucking lame.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Stock.
But there was one day, man, we started jamming it, and you know, I was rocking along to it, and I was like, you know, I'm gonna change a few things in here and see what I can come up with. And everybody kind of turned and was like, "Whoa, what the fuck, man?"
Yeah. You turned it around.
You know,
Yeah,
because I
something
had
real
thought
small
about
can
it. I had
change
thought about it for a while and was
everything.
like,
Yep.
what can I do different in here to make it? Because a lot of times what it is it's not necessarily the riff that is boring to me.
No.
It's what I'm doing.
That's
it's
right.
like, what can I do different to make this fucking cool and to make this more exciting? Because anybody can,
Yep.
you know, all day long.
Sure.
But what can I do to make this better and make this a little more
The
exciting?
neighbors are just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck's all this stupid kick snare bullshit? Give me something fucking exciting.
You know, there is
No, you're making a
there is
brilliant suggestion.
there is a drum set behind you if
Yeah,
you want to
right.
do a solo.
But
No, listen, I don't do drum solos. I don't do drum solos.
you're making a brilliant statement here, because what you're saying is that just like your affection for something, your love for something comes from inside, so does your boredom with it. You hear it and you think it's boring, and that is because you have projected that onto it, and you just have to turn yourself around.
Right, and
You know?
we played it one night.
He didn't hear a
and-
word you said.
He heard it.
No, I did. I heard it. Me and him are drinking the mystery drink.
That's right!
Fucking night. But we started playing it one night, and I started switching some stuff up, and these guys kind of looked at me and was like, "Whoa, man!" And especially Mike, he was like, "Holy fuck!" Like,
Can we listen to the fucking song? And so that people can hear it, and then we can talk about it.
play the fucking thing?
And then that way, then we could talk about it afterwards. I just want people to kind of get a taste of 1152 before they turn the channel.
But what I'm saying is after that, I fell in love with it.
Okay.
Perfect.
Love.
Okay.
fucking song.
So anyway, we're gonna play Recliner Riff. This is a Minor Disturbance Radio exclusive. You have not released this anywhere else?
No? Wait a minute. Yeah.
Oh well, son of a bitch.
We did.
Anyway,
Dude, don't worry. We're gonna give you an exclusive.
We could give you
tonight.
a totally different song if you
okay,
want.
okay, no. Let's do Recliner Riff. Let's do Recliner Riff. We'll do Recliner Riff, and so check this out. This is 1152 off their new CD, Day After Day. This is Recliner Riff.
through the curtains, silhouette of he and she. Couldn't move though I was trembling, tried hard to scream your name. There's no love left for me, I can't seem to stop the bleeding pain in myself. And residuals left. You'll have to live with yourself day after day. You'll have to live with yourself. Your price to pay. Your price to pay. Pretending not to be there, adolescence incomplete, left by the wayside back when your voice meant everything. There's no love left for me, I can't seem to stop the bleeding pain in myself. And residuals left. You'll have to live with yourself day after day. You'll have to live with yourself. Your price to pay. Your price to pay. Blindfolded in our maze, walls made of razor blades, tearing out my heart, so incomplete. So you never knew me anyway.
That was Recliner Riff from 1152, and before we listen to that, you were talking to me about how you hated the song to begin with. First of all, kick-ass song, professionally recorded. You guys are a good band. What I liked about it specifically was I love it when bands have more than just two riffs in their song. And there's some songs that I like where there's just a verse, chorus, little bridge, and a little thing, and they in the song for pop purposes or whatever. But when it's a metal band, I want to hear creativity, and there's definitely a lot of layers there, so that you don't get tired of it the first 5 times you hear it. It's kind of, you know what I mean?
Yep.
So tell me, how does that come together? I mean, how does so many different parts get put into one song?
Metallica.
That's what I was going to say.
I understand the influence, but
like Steve will come up with riffs, Mike will, I will, Eric will. He'll like have a idea in his head that's for guitar, and he'll kind of like, I don't know, like hum it to us or whatever, and get the idea across, and we'll try and come up with something, or I'll have an idea, and then, it's kind of like we were talking about before you played the song, that Mike came up with the basic verse, chorus, and you had the rhythm behind the solo. You had various other riffs.
I tailor my solos to what I like.
I call that.
You won't tell me.
I call that.
You ain't gonna tell me shit.
I call that bringing the tortilla.
Yeah.
He brought the tortilla.
Yep.
And then you guys
there's
put
probably
whatever
a
you wanted.
couple
I need you guys to
other
put
riffs
some
in that
beans
song.
on
Put beans on it. Yeah.
And be honest with you, I've never said that before, but I just made it up now.
Works well.
Dude, it's a great metaphor.
Is it?
I love it. It's better than pizza.
I brought a tortilla, guys. Check this out. You know,
There's a
and
lot
then,
of riffs in that song that just happened at band practice.
Yeah, a couple of
we'll
them
just
were like-
practice in the beginning, going over, over and over.
That's
and then-
why I love this band, because I know I'm hearing more than one person's input. I'm hearing a band.
I remember you saying that about Marianas. That when when you first saw us, there was nothing clearly defining where the music was coming from. So it was really awesome for you to hear something that sounded so coordinated that apparently came from everybody.
Well, I get the same feeling when I see 1152 as I did when I saw Marianas, and that was I'm seeing a real band of guys that are playing as a band, and not just one guy has this vision and then he's got these other guys that just kind of fit the position that they need to play this expression. I'm hearing a band, and it's been such a long time for me since I've heard a band, because anymore, songs are written for bands. There's one songwriter.
Nashville.
And the rest of the guys are like, I don't know. I mean, for example, I'm sorry, I'm just going to be straightforward here. Say, for example, 3 Years Hollow. Most of that stuff is written by one or two guys. And
Tony and Jose, basically.
Absolutely.
Right?
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it works that way for them.
That's just one way of doing it.
It works that way for them. Although when I hear 1152, I know I'm hearing all of my buddies' input everywhere,
Right. It's his voice and his voice and his voice and his voice.
Right.
all coming
It's
together.
like 80% mine though. Like,
It's the loudest.
Yeah, a lot of
the loudest.
this.
like I'm like, hey guys, why don't you try to do this? And they're like, fuck you, Flores.
Yeah,
Why
right.
don't you have another fucking drink?
Yeah, right.
Have you
know
ever-
what he says? He says 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I'm like, I don't mind if I do, whatever,
If you we never did really fully introduce the band, but I will say that if you're watching the show, if you're one, what the hell, man?
This is ways in.
This is unedited.
You're gonna have to cut this shit back.
If you're one of the 4 people that watch Minor Disturbance Radio, you're probably looking at the band and you could probably guess which one's which. I already said that you're the singer and guitar player, but if you were just going to look at these bozos over here,
Isn't it weird that he stopped at the singer guitar player?
well, I got interrupted.
He's like, you're the coolest one. Like, this guy over here
He's the
plays
guy,
the bass.
but he's the guy that he most identifies with, man. It's the guy he most identifies
So
with. There's nothing wrong
who
with
would
that.
you at home? Who would you assume was the drummer? Even though we've already talked about that.
You gonna take a caller? Let's take a caller.
Are you gonna?
Let's take a call.
Minor Disturbance Radio, you're live.
Yeah.
Oh, the butthole on the right. You win.
Hey,
Ding, ding, ding.
fucking B Minor's putting me on blast right now.
He is, dude, man. He's nasty, dude.
Which one's the drummer in the stupid fucking t-shirt?
See, now the fact that you have sleeves is beguiling.
Yeah. Well,
That makes
wait a
it so it's
minute.
harder for.
Anyway, so let's get back to the importance of this podcast, which is not Travis making fun of me. I'm not used to that. Well, I'm used to Jeff doing it.
It happens every now and then.
So, but all right, so we're still playing the game. Who at home would assume which one of these bozos is the bass player? The one that never says anything.
Yeah, the bass player is almost always the quiet guy.
You guys are fitting the bill perfectly.
Hey, but isn't
Oh, here we go.
aren't bass players like real tall and skinny all the time?
They are. They're all.
And
Yes.
they always have beards.
I slept
Always.
with the bass.
They're the tall skinny dudes that don't.
We all don't say that. Come on.
But they're the tall skinny dudes that don't get into sports. They don't get into basketball.
I noticed.
yeah.
I
That's
noticed
what it
you
is.
guys all have
That's
beards.
all the time, man.
Do you really?
Kind of like I mean,
But you never went to college for it. I mean,
Come on. College for
college for bass.
no, for basketball, man.
I
For
got a
basketball.
scholarship for bass.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I'm not telling.
Ryan Tropic. Would you play with Will Ferrell? And,
Yeah, I did actually. Yeah.
In Super Pro or
Yes, I was in Super Pro.
You were in the movie Super Pro
Yes.
or Semi Pro?
Semi-pro.
Semi-pro.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Steve
I was like
was in
Super Pro.
Super Pro.
Was that the sequel?
He wasn't in semi-pro. He was in Super Pro.
Was the sequel.
Was the one you made up in your fantasy?
Parody.
Oh, it was a pornographic parody.
Exactly.
To the Edward Penis hands of the semi-pro world.
But yeah, we all have beards.
Yeah, and I was gonna say,
hanging around.
and which one do you assume would probably be the lead guitar player?
I would have to guess it would be between these two dudes.
You know what though?
Actually, I am.
Well,
Don't I look like one though?
On the next album, yeah.
All right. So what amazes me is there's nobody in your band that has the typical ego that goes along with being in a band or whatever. You guys are just such nice, normal guys.
Oh, I dispute that.
Mike has the ego.
I dispute
One of you.
that.
I think Mike's the only
I
man in the
dispute
band with the
that.
alter ego.
Yeah.
I do have an alter ego, but I don't have an ego.
He's what is it? Muscle milk.
Mark
Mark
Stinger.
Muscle milk. That's what Mark Stinger,
Stinger.
dude.
That's
Muscle
what
milk, Mark Stinger, dude.
call
Yeah.
him.
Listen,
Let's bring that whole fucking topic up.
recently, Mike, you put up a Throwback Thursday picture of you and another shirtless
Here
male.
we fucking go.
Gay.
Hey, that's fine.
Gay.
And I don't feel wrong for getting a half chubby looking at it because I didn't know what it. I saw a lot of flesh.
Yeah.
I had a full heart on and I was angry about it.
I felt,
Yeah, that's my best friend from high school. We
I'm
played
going to throw that picture up too.
Please do.
You had some triceps from hell on
Please
it.
do. I was blessed with good
Okay,
genetics.
buddy.
Whatever. No, that's my best friend from high school, Aaron Emmel, and we played on the football team together in high school.
Oh, you did?
All of us shaved our heads. We were going to play a military academy in the middle of Missouri the next day, so we all shaved our heads and we went and played.
Okay, but you realize there's a lot of naked flesh in that picture.
That's what I was gonna say.
Actually, and we're touching. Like,
and a lot of smiling
touching.
boys.
a lot.
You know what's really weird?
A lot of
is like
touching.
his chest was like just like maybe the tiniest little bit caved in the sternum,
Yep.
and it was just hair in that zone.
Yep.
Which made like the sort of this shape.
That's where I ate my cereal from.
Like I called Mike out. I'm like, is that dude
That's
fucking?
where you eat your cereal from.
Yep.
I called Mike out. I'm like, is that dude fucking pinching your nip or what? What's going on?
All right, I got to get to the questions. I put up
You got
that
some
we're doing a podcast, and I have people ask questions. And of course, there's always
That's
the
so
same.
hot.
There's always the same buttholes that ask stupid questions, and then there's half legit questions. And one of them, yeah, one of them was, "What's up with the freaking what is that? The lowrider bicycle on your promo picture?"
Yeah, please explain
You
this.
want me to tell a story?
Yeah,
Of course
go
we
right
do.
ahead, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead there.
No, we don't want you to tell it. We want you to slur it.
One of you
Slur the
guys
story.
can.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
One of you guys can.
You're most closely
I love it.
related to the lowrider, so go ahead.
What's that supposed to mean?
Is that what it is? A lowrider?
Because I'm messing skin?
From Rock Island, that means that you're just.
Okay.
Flores.
A guy that should I go into like real big detail?
No,
or-
just explain
No.
why
Just
the
give
hell
us the general-
Dusty's
Okay.
sitting on a lowrider bicycle.
Anyway,
on your hair.
the place that we shot a lot of those photos at had a bicycle laying around. I'll go into the short part of
There
it.
were tenants there that lived in this place.
It's an abandoned elementary school.
Oh,
And I was like, hey, Dusty, why don't you grab that fucking bicycle and take some pictures with it? And he's like, okay,
Because
cool.
there was just this bicycle laying. I just hit that mic. That's gonna
way
go.
to go.
Who knows?
Wow, 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 wow.
Sorry.
It's on a shock mount, dude. You're good.
There's this bicycle laying in the hallway of this.
Right next to a pile of dog shit.
So is dog shit.
So you had to
bicycle.
choose between the bike or the dog shit because the dog shit could have been a prop too. I could see it right on.
I think it might actually be
Here's
in
a
the
nice
picture.
piece of shit.
I think.
Right on top of Dusty's head, that shit would have sat and it looked like it had a weird hairdo and or
like
the
a,
lowrider
like
bike.
a yarmulke almost. Like it
I think
would
you made,
have been like a
I think you made the
yarmulke.
right choice.
Right on.
Anyway, back to the bike.
No, I mean, it was an old high school that was turned into these apartments, and we went there for this photo shoot, and there was a bike just kind of laying around, and
Dude, the place was jacked
It
up.
was awesome.
Yeah,
perfect to
it
shoot
was
photos.
really cool. You know, we were like, well, hey, how cool would it be if, Dusty grabbed this bike and just kind of took some pictures on this lowrider bike and got in touch with his Mexican-American roots, and his heritage, yeah. and that's what he did, and then we went and ate tacos afterwards.
Really? Where?
We can't tell by looking at me, but
We didn't eat
No,
any.
where
Travis
did you eat
wants to-
tacos? Where the fuck did you eat tacos? That's
Well,
what-
we didn't eat any.
Oh, you liar! Now tacos has been a pretty serious subject on the show, so it's nothing to really joke about.
Well, my bad.
I can tell what kind of person somebody is by what kind of tacos they eat.
I eat pink
Yeah.
tacos at the Y.
So listen, hey, let me ask you this then.
Now you know who the lead guitar player is.
Let me ask you this.
There it comes, dude.
Let me ask you this, B minor.
Yes, sir.
Okay. You can tell what kind of person they are by what kind of tacos they eat.
Absolutely.
Mine are just meat and cheese or pink tacos.
Ooh, see, I know what that means, though. You know
Break
what
it
that
down.
means? I'll tell you exactly what it means. It means he's all protein and no vegetation. That's what it's all about.
What about the pink?
I'm telling you, it's all about being a carnivore. That the animalism of what it is that you're saying suggests that what it is that you do is extremely physical.
God damn it, he's forcing me to have to edit this bitch.
I'm so
I got
I was just gonna say I'm so glad this is no edit. I'm so glad no edit.
Here's what we're doing, MDR
Flying
listeners.
off the tracks.
We've made a deal. We're not editing this episode at all. If anybody says anything retarded, which is going to happen,
It's gonna be ugly.
we're not editing this thing at all. So
Brian, you're not
So,
gonna
yeah.
be able to renege. You're gonna have to renege on that right now.
what we're trying to do is we're trying to get used to the idea of going live anyway. So what you're going to be hearing is a live broadcast, and then you'll probably hear it after we do it live. But we're getting used to doing it live, so that people get used to not saying such stupid shit on the show.
Maybe we shouldn't get so fucked up.
I don't feel that.
Who's fucked up?
I'm probably the only one. But I feel like I haven't said anything stupid. I eat tacos with meat and cheese, and I also eat pink tacos.
Hillary.
And you've also got one eye that's looking at me, and one
Thank
eye
goodness,
that's looking
good
at
sense has
Travis right
prevailed.
Hey, and listen.
Thank goodness.
Hey,
Thank goodness, good taste and good
well,
sense.
I got one
has
that's looking at
prevailed.
Trav and one that's looking at B minor, and what we call that is a searcher. There's one looking at you, one searching for you, baby.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay.
I can give you what you want, but it's not going to be hands free.
Right.
That's all I gotta say.
All right. So who writes the lyrics in the band?
I do.
Jesus, here we go.
Here it comes, dude.
And they're all in
Here it
Old
comes.
English.
Welcome to,
The fucking gutter.
welcome to Eric Flores Disturbance.
Sounds like Tapao delivering the fucking speech.
Oh, man.
You freezer.
I got you good, you fucker.
No, Dusty does, but every now and then I will hear something that I'm kind of like, dude, I'm kind of hearing this like vocal piece, like in Fail, the big. I'm not gonna sing it because I look like a fucking idiot, but
You already do, so just go for it. Go for it. Just go for it.
when I was whistling it out, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
That's the drummer.
I kept hearing this like big kind of vocal piece, and I'm like, Dusty, really need you to like throw this out here.
Yeah.
Let Papa hear it. You know, like let me see what you got, you know? And,
I like that you start scrubbing your right nipple.
So,
Somehow.
That's the dirty one.
so a lot of times it's Dusty, but every now and then, I got to stick my fucking nose in.
No.
Drummer, I can't.
He said lyrics, though. Who writes the lyrics?
Oh, lyrics.
Yeah, first of all,
Not who writes the melodies. Like,
let me clear something up right now. We were talking outside, and I brought up the subject of Eric Flores is going to be, when you guys do your behind the music on VH1, he's going to be the first one that you couldn't tour because he was in AA, and then the subsequent 5 year later Where Are They Now episode will be Eric living on the streets with a paper bag.
it's amazing how much the life of Eric Flores mirrored the life of Steven Adler of Guns N' Roses.
Listen. Hey, if I'm there, you're right behind me because we were sharing that bottle all night, sweetheart.
That's right, dude.
Yeah.
No, I'll high five you on that shit,
yeah.
dude. Because the point is,
This shit's already adrift, man.
It is. It's totally adrift. And I'm ready to like go to the envelope. I'm ready to go to the envelope, dude.
You want to get another bottle?
I want to get crazy.
Okay.
Oh, this shit's on now. It just got real. It just got real.
Let's go to the store.
I think so.
They're gonna go buy another bottle of
We're gonna need to
undisclosed
take a
alcohol.
commercial break.
Again? Okay,
Let's spin another song.
are you gonna give us another track to
Let's
play?
spin another song.
You guys are so gracious.
Let's do
So
it.
gracious.
Why not, man? We're gonna spin the whole thing in a.
Why don't we just go
6
get drunk and
days,
just play the rest of the CD?
No, he did Brown Street before.
Yeah, he already played, bro.
The order has been moved and seconded.
I want to apologize to MDR listeners. I hope this isn't going too crazy for you guys, but I think that this is the backbone of what I wanted to do to begin with, is just to be at the table and having fun, you know, talking music, talking shop, and having a good time.
This is
and
rock
at the
and
same
roll.
time, exposing some music that you may not have listened to before and showing you that there is some fucking talent in the Quad Cities in the form of 1152. Let's listen to another track. What do you want to play? Haters. Oh, you're gonna
That's
bust
what
out
I
haters?
wanna do.
Is this a world exclusive?
Yes.
Bum, bum, bum.
The only time.
What's the music on MTV where it's an
Yeah, right.
exclusive?
Do-do-do-do-do. Gong, 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 gong.
Yeah, it's all the old typewriter headers.
First, here.
Peace cells. It's peace
It's
cells.
Peace Cells, dude. It's Peace Cells.
Ding, ding, ding,
It's
ding,
David
ding,
Ellefson, dude. David Ellefson.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, totally.
All right.
Everybody just did their best bass player impression.
Dude,
This is
The Beavis and Butthead.
this is Haters from 1152. Enjoy. Let's go.
Pale green skin, cracked and thin, stretched over spine. Sink teeth in the neckline. They crawl out from the grave they come to hate. The world starts burning down. It's time we made the monsters afraid. So hold himself a prince, a dead rose. He bleeds from the heart, but truth he won't show no mercy. See how they run. The hater hates us so.
Welcome back to Minor Disturbance Radio. That was Haters from 1152. And I want to know, what is Haters about? What was your inspiration?
Oh, man. Basically exactly what it says, you know. I think that kind of attitude drives all of us crazy. People, and what's the sense in it? You don't have anything nice to say.
No matter
you
what
mean like
you do,
no matter like haters.
Do, yeah, no matter what you do, no matter how good you are or how good you aren't, people fucking hate on it.
Yeah.
And it's all, it all stems from this wanting to belong to something. They want to be as good as you are.
Like purism, you mean? Like where people think like there's some pure way of doing things, and like you're incorporating elements of the purity, but then you're like defiling it by putting these other things in there. I mean, what do you mean by haters?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anything that you want to do and you want to be good at, or you want it to be your own, somebody's going to immediately hear it and go, that's fucking bogus.
That sucks. Yep. And it's for this reason.
Bogus. Yep.
Yeah.
And no matter what, as much as we all say that we don't fucking care what you think, it fucking bothers us.
Listen, I can even extend that idea, because this Minor Disturbance Radio is my band, kind of, in a way, as far as my... I'm in a band as a cover band, but this is like my original band.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was my idea. It's something that I put out there and hope that people would dig. And what we found out, like I was talking to you guys about when we were having a break, you know, you look at the Quad City area of musicians, and you've got about 300 of them out there or more that are going to be exposed to Minor Disturbance Radio, right? And then you have to split that in half, because about 50% of them are going to say, as soon as they see it, they're going to hate the fact that somebody else is doing something. And they're going to think, first of all, why didn't I think of that? Second of all, why aren't I included? But the door is open all the time to everybody. But the hater thing is what I'm trying to say. There's immediately going to be half the musicians that are going to hate the fact that, well, there's something like this. And then so now you've split that down, and you've only got 150 people that are, you know, going to be interested. So I understand what you're saying. Just like music, you put your song out there, you're throwing it out like a shotgun blast, hoping it hits most of the people. It's really hard to do. It's hard to get people interested in something that's created that hasn't been hyped to them first, and it didn't come from somewhere else. It's almost like if it came from New York, it's legit. But if it came from Davenport, Iowa, it's already fucking wounded.
Yep.
You know? So
I think the idea for me behind the lyrics was not just that, but every aspect of, you know, people just hating on you for being who you are, what you wear, what you look like, where you came from. Anything, you know, this just, what's the sense in it, you know? Why
put
that on somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but at the same time, you know, whenever somebody hates on me, though, I always want to think about whether what it is that they're saying, even though it's negative, I want to find out whether I think there's some legitimacy to it, though. You know what I mean? Like, whether or not, if somebody's hating on me, can I just dismiss them as a hater? Or is there something in what they're saying?
Question yourself, no matter what. No matter what.
But that can be good, can it?
It can be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It can be if you feel like you need to improve on something. But I mean, getting back to the idea of the song and what it's saying in the lyrics to haters, I think it's more just kind of a general idea of people having shitty attitudes, negative attitudes, and usually that comes from jealousy and, you know, feelings from within that person that they just try to project on everyone else to bring them to their level so that they can feel normal.
It's their
feel okay about themselves.
Right. It's their negativity. They're trying
to. I was kind of pissed off because it took like 13 episodes of MDR before somebody disliked the video on YouTube, and as soon as I got the dislike, I was like, yes, finally somebody fucking doesn't like what I'm doing, because if everybody tells you that what you're doing is great all the time, there's something wrong.
That's what I mean.
There's something fucking
they're
wrong,
sucking your dick.
Right.
That's
so
the
they're
point.
shining you on.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is finally somebody's, don't like it, fuck you, bam. And I can guarantee it's probably somebody else in another 80s tribute band or something, you know what I mean? So,
My hair is way longer than that dude.
Brian Miner again. Here he is, fucking Brian Miner. Fuck him.
So then you don't know who it is then who dislikes you?
No, you can't tell on YouTube. Obviously, because they know I'd whoop their ass if they, if it said who they are. It'd be at their door.
It would be a Jay and Silent Bob situation, Hey, are you, Stormwind 53?
Yes, I am.
But
I'm gonna beat your ass.
in this era, though, when you put your stuff out, you're gonna get people that hide behind some sort of name or something, fake name. You don't know who they are, and then the people are so rude anymore. I mean, they say the nastiest shit. You could put your song out and say comment freely.
Social media makes that
absolutely
very possible for. We used to call that telephone tough guy, right?
Yeah. Telephone tough guy, dude.
Before there was internet, it was telephone tough guy.
Yeah, telephone tough guy, dude.
That's a worm phrase.
That is a wormism. That's a big time wormism, dude. Worm, I'm shouting out to you, Worm.
What is telephone tough guy? How does that work?
That's when you call somebody up and you talk shit to them.
Because your voice.
You're on the
you have
fucking
no
phone.
idea who they are?
No, you know who they are, but you're on the fucking phone with them.
Right.
You can't do anything. You can talk all the shit you want, but nobody's going to do anything over the phone.
You're 20 miles across town.
I'll tell you a secret, or I'll tell you a story about telephone tough guy. I've been that guy.
Yeah?
My sister's been on the phone with her boyfriend when I was younger, and I was in the background being an asshole because I'm the younger brother. And she was on the phone. I was like, "Get off the phone, bitch!" And my sister Carrie said, "He just called me a bitch." And then I heard on the other line, or on her boyfriend.
Right.
Oh, and she goes,
Smurf, apparently.
Hunter just said he's coming to kick your ass. And I said, "Bring him on. I'm waiting for him right here." 10 minutes later, through the side door comes Hunter, and he chest out, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, right in my face like this, and I was like eating some cereal or something. I just went, "You want some?" and he just like started laughing. So yeah, I got called on my telephone tough guy.
Yeah.
That's a shout out to Hunter too, who watches the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, Hunter. And yes, there were purple horseshoes in there,
And he would've
it was
killed me.
hilarious.
So he's a telephone tough guy.
Yeah, he would have killed
Evolved
me.
into internet tough guy, which could be anybody across the
Now
world.
there's
I'm internet tough guy. That's me.
Yeah.
That's me.
You dislike minor disturbance.
I did.
No, you're not. You're not, because you only type things and then you don't send them.
That is no. I'm not saying that I don't send everything, but definitely there are certain subjects that I realize that there are people who will just not listen to what it is I have to say. No, it is worth my time. But
For you.
But the value of it, right. It has to do with me developing my stance and finding out where I really fit in on these issues. And, I think that's important. You have to do that. And on the subject of haters, I mean, the haters, even though they piss you off and you're just like, fuck you, because you're coming at this from some perspective that is illegitimate. It just sucks. At the same time, it does have you looking more closely, and not even just from some kind of like intellectual theoretical standpoint, but from the standpoint of this hurts. Somebody's saying they don't like this and this hurts. That you look at and you're like, even though everything else they say is dumb, there's this one thing, there's this one little bit that they have right. And I do need to work on this, and I do need to reform this, and I do need to fix it. So then you fix it. And that's not a victory for them. That's a victory for you. You know what I mean? That's where I'm at with haters.
Right.
You know?
'Cause even if you fix it, that may now change somebody else's opinion.
It may.
But can we agree that most of the time when a hater is hating on somebody, what they're seeing is somebody that's a threat to them?
Yeah.
In some way, and what they're doing is they're trying to see a chink in their armor, anything that they can find that they can point out that they know that person kind of has a fear about. That way they're getting right to them.
But it's an opportunity. That's what I'm saying.
It would be like if somebody were to say to you, "Oh yeah, Eric Flores, he's okay drummer, but his meter's up. His meter's fucked." You'll take that to heart.
You said Peter, right?
And I'd say, fuck you. You want my job?
He'd be like, fuck you, Peter. Oh, wait, did you say meter?
I'm just saying the things that they know how to get to you, So, like the worst thing that somebody could say to me, "Oh, it's happened before. I was standing out in my front lawn, the most hurt I've ever been in my life." Okay, I'm standing out in my front lawn having beers with my girlfriend at the time, like 3 girlfriends ago. And I'm sitting there, I'm in Drop Hammer in my heyday. I'm you guys, you know what I mean? We got our record out, and I'm thinking I'm badass, and I got my black hair down, and I'm like, bleh. And this car zooms by, throwing beer cans out, clink, 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 clink. And they drove by, and they go, hey, drop hammer sucks and your girlfriend gives good head. And they peel out of there, and I'm like, I want to go inside now. It's like, you can't do anything about it. You're like, ooh.
That's tough guy to the max.
That is though.
That's drive-by
Tough guy, right? Drive-by tough guy.
That's almost personal.
So now they're saying that my band sucks and my girlfriend gives good head, all in the same drive-by.
Ouch.
Well, now wait a minute though, Brian. You know your girlfriend does,
At that point, who
and you
knows?
know your band doesn't suck.
Well, but at that point, my ego, I was 20-something years old. I didn't know how to handle it. It was devastating for me, I had to, because I had some friends around that weren't really 100% my friends, and they were probably
This guy thinks
every dude in that car was jealous of you.
Sure.
Because you had a
Possibly.
band
And a hot
people
girlfriend.
really loved, and
I love a girlfriend who
I did a girlfriend who gave really good head.
Right, dude, they're jealous of that too.
a girlfriend.
Jealous.
Right? A girlfriend. Yeah. I get you.
have
So,
a girlfriend.
so haters has many, many levels.
Right. And it's about those guys that never stick around to actually like commit to what they say.
Yeah.
Because if those dudes really thought that you were fucking shitty, they would have stopped and they would have showed you why. Because I can do it better than you.
Right. The
You
fact
know?
that they drove off.
So-
it's the kid that calls you all the names, but he's on his bike, and then you chase him, and he's like,
exactly.
"Oh,
Yeah.
Totally, dude.
So-
Totally, you
Friday.
motherfucker! I'm gonna. This ain't over.
Friday.
Right?
This ain't over.
Knocking over the trash can. With his ass.
I think though.
That's what it is. They can't do it better than you, and they're never going to show you why.
Yeah, but so me screaming at these taillights that were peeling out. Yeah, but you can't do arpeggios.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear that one on Walk with a Bird?
And you know what? That would have really hurt him. I bet.
No.
Yeah, right.
Like arpeggios.
We really can't, man.
They would have been like, arpeggio, what? I insult this guy, and then he's speaking Italian. How does this make any sense?
I think though that like, people that hate on us and things like that. Yeah, it bothers us, because
It should.
we
It does.
we,
It's
we try to play as hard as we can and things like that. But I think that I can speak for everyone that when people hate, man, it just makes us play that much harder.
Yeah.
And it really pushes us to be like, you know what? You can hate all you want. You just wait, And that's not me being cocky. I'm not trying to be cocky.
Well, let's get to the point.
No, it ain't
Let's get to
cocky.
the
No,
point.
it's about
kind of
work,
a-
dude.
it's
It's
a
about
new
work.
thing for
Yeah, I mean, we put
Yeah.
the fucking work in.
It's
Let-
about work.
let's get to the point.
It's just something we haven't
You said-
experienced a lot. So it's obviously something that's fresh on our minds and something that affects us in a little way because it's something that none of us have really gone through before. It's like
I've
all of a
compared
sudden
it
you're
to.
putting yourself out there
Yeah.
and you're subject to criticism.
I've
Right,
compared
right.
it to standing in front of, performing in a band and making music, especially for a singer. And to me, just because I've been, I'm a singer and I know that Dusty's a singer. And as soon as you project your voice into a microphone singing music to people, you're immediately at the same level as if you stood in front of a room full of people and pulled your pants down.
Yep.
yeah.
Like I
much.
said, I'd rather
And-
play naked
and then
than
say-
sing
and then
in
saying-
front of people.
Yeah.
Any
No
comments?
kidding, man.
You know what I mean? Because you're about to get your feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Because so that's how that works, and I understand that when you make music, and then you have everybody that wants to chime in on what they think of it. Boy, that's a tough gig. You've got to be a really solid, strong person to be able to handle that.
Well, if you're not, there are going to be some consequences.
Yep.
And
You
will
seen
learn to
through.
be, because the consequences suck, because you just feel terrible about yourself.
Yeah.
And
We've all had that gig.
Yeah, absolutely. And even at that, part of this really is, I think, sort of the spiritual schedule of being a performer. That when you perform, what this is about giving yourself the opportunity to know that there are certain people that don't like it, and still finding it within yourself to feel all right about yourself and know that that's just a perspective. Just like your way of thinking about what is real is just a perspective,
Yeah.
And let me add on to that. And part of the fact that I know that there's a good section of people that don't like something is almost going to turn me on to it just because I want to be part of the crowd. Just when we're talking about metal.
Yeah, metal.
Why isn't metal more popular?
It's self-defeating, right? Like
Because
Jacob Gregory said.
It's
dude.
the people like me
Yeah,
that
he's
you want to
brilliant.
feel like you're part of a small club. You know, just like MDR listeners, there's
Exclusive club.
There's certain people that get it, and there's some people that just won't even give it a chance. But my point is, once you get it, and you're part of that club, then you feel more married to it than if you're like the new Lady Gaga or whatever. You know, everybody. You know, oh, do you like that new Madonna song? Well, of course, it's pop music.
Yeah, yeah.
But the point of liking something that's unique and most people turn their nose at it, like for me, it was Kiss. The reason I love Kiss so much because my fucking parents and everybody I knew hated it. And it was so taboo, so against the grain. And when you're talking metal music, if there's people that are like 1152, they fucking suck, I hate them. I'd be like, well, I gotta go see them now.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to me, that weeds out the assholes, and it gets the people that truly understand what you guys are about, and that's what you want anyway.
Well,
Right.
going back to the question,
Yep.
would you play your songs in front of 50 people or songs that everybody knows for 300? I mean, you want to be legit?
Yeah.
Right.
What he's saying
Good point.
is
Right.
yeah.
Good point.
Would you rather play Talk Dirty to Me in front of 2,000 people and take home $500 cash a piece, or would you play your original musics to 25 people at Rascals that get it?
Yeah.
We played a show just
I was just gonna say that.
a couple weeks ago where we played to
The other bands.
Was it like
The
eight,
other bands.
8 fucking people? Like half of the other bands and our girlfriends. Well, my wife.
Shit,
Yeah,
dude.
and we played our show. We played our show.
Where at?
Ottawa, Illinois.
Ottawa, Illinois, Radium City.
No, we played at what was it called? Shady Oaks or some shit like that.
Shady Oaks.
No, something Oaks.
Something
That's a
Oaks.
golf course, man.
Shady Oaks is like
No.
always the nursing home in every like
Oh, that's
Sandler
right. That's
movie.
right. Yeah, Shady Oaks.
Right, Shady Oaks. Right, no.
No, but we played in front of 0 people.
But it was Ottawa, Illinois.
It was Ottawa.
Ottawa, Illinois is Radium City. I don't know if you're aware of this, but that's the most radioactive city in the Midwest.
Yeah?
Because that's where the old radium dial watch factory.
So if you guys end up growing 2
Why
dicks,
my pee was glowing in
Dude,
the
exactly, man. If you wondered why your internal Geiger counters were going off, that's why, dude.
speaking on that point of being in a band like you guys and playing to the other bands or whatever, I have several pictures of when the sun was setting for Drop Hammer and there wasn't, the scene was just dying around here. I mean, there was a time where the scene just fucking croaked. And I got to be a part of that. I might have been part of the reason, but I have a picture of me up there sweating, tank top, starting to get a little bit of alcohol bloat on me, drunk as fuck because there's nobody there, because that's what happened to me. I was very insecure, and I had to get drunk to be able to even try to pull it off. And it's a picture of him up there, ripping. You could tell I'm fucking shredding, and sweating, beer dripping out of me. And there's Travis standing there by himself in the
Going-
front row with when he had the
the crazy
four little
braids,
things.
right.
He's like,
That was Mary.
like
Yeah.
this, and that's all that mattered to me. It's all. When I looked at that, I was like, I hope I played well for Travis, because to me,
Yeah.
to get the
That's
acceptance
cool.
from my peers was much more important than getting the chicks that
Yeah.
might have popped their head in there, to like drop.
And of course, I was all like, "Oh man, his picking was whack," but I'm not gonna tell him.
Well, at that point, I was thinking, man, it's too bad
Whether
I'm
they
drunk right
admit it
now
or
because
not,
I really want to be
Whether
able
they
to play.
admit it or not, that's important to every musician.
Sure it
it's
is.
important to
Sure it
all
is.
of us.
We don't-
What
we don't-
other musicians think of you
Yeah.
is more important, I think, to a musician than what someone who doesn't play an instrument
Totally,
picks
because
up on your music.
yeah,
you know what I
because
mean?
like a musician is they're like a concentrated version of a regular person.
Yeah,
They're like
and they can pick apart what you've
totally.
done in more of a how do you say
Substantial.
it? Yeah,
But-
they can
But they're
critique
also
it's a-
the most opinionated
That's what I mean.
bunch on the planet.
It's a problem bias in a way, because the things that musicians end up sort of ascending to like is not the same thing that your average Joe on the street likes.
Yeah.
And you have to
Yeah.
sort of play that balance
So
between.
what do you think the difference is, like between that, what a musician likes, and obviously that would be the instrument they play.
Oh, I can
right?
tell you exactly what it is.
Because for me, sometimes I think it's a little different. Sometimes I like listening to the drums actually more
Right.
than I like listening to the guitar. Being a guitar player, you would think it would be the guitar, but I find myself constantly like wanting to play the drums.
All the time.
Yeah.
Because we approach our instruments, especially in metal guitars, we approach our instruments rhythmically. We tend to think more in terms of how we ring out the strings and in what sort of measured way we do that. But I'm telling you, what is the difference between the average Joe on the street and here's exactly what it is that when we hear sound, we hear elements of sound stacked together, whereas the person on the street hears one big sheet of sound. They don't hear the little parts of it, they just hear one thing. We hear many things, they hear one thing. And if we want to play to them, what we have to do is create music that sounds to them like one thing instead of a music that sounds like all these different separate things. And it's an extraordinarily difficult thing to accomplish.
So in other words, when we're trying to create a song and we're really worried about that snare reverb that's...
Totally. If you can hear the reverb, it's wrong.
Yeah, if you can hear... Well, you know what I'm saying. Like
in general.
You hear,
in general.
When you listen to your music, you hear certain parts of things and that you're like, oh, man, I wish...
Right.
People don't hear it the way that you hear it.
Right.
And like, for example, Jeff's a normal guy. That's why I have him on the show, because he's supposed to talk sometimes, but...
You guys won't give this dude a fucking chance.
Whatever. You now have the congratulations in support of a drummer.
Means a fucking lot.
But what I wanted was the quote unquote average Joe perspective. He's a music lover, and he loves all kinds of different music, and he gets it because I've talked to him a lot, and he understands what's cool about things, but he can't quite put his finger on why it's cool.
Ready?
Well, like
I said, I dissect it more than probably the average person too, because of being into it and talking to Brian and other people. So I don't just hear that wall of noise,
like the single sheet sound.
So I guess I don't internalize it and take it in like you guys and dissect it.
And you're also a child of the 80s, which is kind of another thing that brought Jeff and I together. Is we're very into hair bands like Maiden. And would you consider Maiden a hair band, though?
I don't think so.
See, everybody, when you say hair band, you think of Poison and Warrant and all that stuff. To me, it was Queensryche and Maiden and Priest.
I fucking love Queensryche.
Yeah, me too.
Right.
Me too.
Huge fan.
I think what draws a majority of listeners in is a story. And what's the most popular genre of music out there?
Country.
And what does country music do?
Suck.
Talk about dogs.
It tells a story. Every country song.
Every country song I've heard anymore sounds like an old Poison song with less distortion.
I got problems. I got troubles.
I have to disagree.
Yeah.
I don't think the most popular form of music out there is country. The most popular form of music out there is always pop. It's always pop.
Yeah, but that's
the
what
reason.
it's called.
And if country is doing well, it is because it is playing to pop. But so the rest of your spiel is right, though.
So pop, right?
But the rest of your spiel is right, though. Yeah.
I
knew that something was fucked.
Yeah.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
I knew that something was fucked when I heard a country song with a rapper over it.
It's not fucked.
Oh, yeah.
It's not fucked. It's natural. I don't think it's fucked. I think it's natural.
No, I think that's some idiot fucking record
I was trying to make those
producer or whatever. No, it's not genius. It's not genius because it's some butthole that thinks that how can we really make a lot of fucking money?
Because they appeal to the masses, and the masses
We know
is
that-
what pays them.
Genius. Yeah.
For a week, and then
That's all they want.
Again, if you're driving down the street listening to a country song with somebody rapping over it, you're a fucking moron. Okay, to me, and I won't make any bones about it. You're musically retarded because you think that's good. It's not good.
I agree with you, B minor.
See, he's on your page.
My phone's going off.
If you want to
Hillary
hear,
Duff said, "Don't use the word retarded."
I don't listen.
Like that, please. Please. Okay.
You have to.
That's all I gotta say.
You have to make Brian's mouth blurry too, so nobody can read his lips.
Don't you know that he's weird?
My wife gets on me about that. I'm sorry.
What happened to his face?
I'm retarded.
Something happened.
So
there's another one.
There it is again, man.
He's good. He's good.
Why do you have to work blue?
who in the fuck is Hillary Duff?
She don't like the word. What you said.
Oh, okay.
The point I was
She's religious and pretty.
Okay.
That's the point. Religious and pretty.
Okay, go ahead.
What I was trying to get at though is lyrics draw in the masses. I think that what you're saying in the song, the beat could be country, the beat could be pop, the beat could be rock. It could be whatever. I get sick of hearing, and I guess it is popular because it's on the radio, this crap lyrics. What happened? Like, what happened to people writing really cool lyrics? Right?
Personal experience.
What happened? Ooh! What happened?
It's all about timeliness, man. Like, there are these record producers that I've been listening to that they'll have songs that they have written 4 years ahead of when they knew that it was possible that this song could be a hit. And the whole point is about whether or not the stories that you're telling right now are the stories that work with the legacy of the stories that worked up to that point. And it's relevancy, man. Thank you, Rob.
You're hearing from Rob Simmeroff.
It's about it.
You
It
wanna
is
come in
about.
here, Rob?
Rob.
Pull
I
up a
wish
chair.
I told him he
it
needed
is-
to be on
it
the
is
show.
about relevancy.
He's sitting over there. He's getting his first dose of an MDR
Don't-
episode.
Come on, man.
We're doing it in
There's
the
room right
studio.
here.
He's over there looking
So-
bored as shit.
so-
you know?
so here's the deal.
He's playing
It's
some zombie.
This
game
is
on his
never.
phone.
Here's the-
He's the one that clicked
I'm
the
gonna-
dislike on my fucking YouTube.
No, I'm going to tie it all together because really,
some pipe theory fans will get a kick
what
out
we're
of it.
talking about more than anything isn't whether or
We
not
can dig that up, man.
that is cool. But
Anyway,
you know, no, there. What I was going to bring up is that it isn't about whether or not anything is either good or bad. That, you know, that value discussion isn't really relevant. It's subjective.
Yeah.
What you're really looking for is whether or not the effect of what you're doing is a continuance of the leading edge of the current evolution.
He confused the fuck out of me.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm sorry.
I'm looking for double solos and some screams. That's what I'm looking for.
If you're, the point is that even if you're imitating the most current person, you're behind.
Right.
That's the point.
Already been done.
The only thing you can do is look at the way things are going and try to get out ahead of it if you're interested in pop. Because, I mean, not everybody's interested in pop. But if you're interested in pop, that's the key. The key is to know what is next. But you don't know what is next. You see how things are going, and then you say, this is what is next.
At this point, though, when I listen to metal bands, I mean, everything has been done. I mean, you've seen the best drummers, you've seen the best guitar players, you've seen the best, intricate songwriting, all these things. You know, when Dream Theater kicked the doors open of prog rock or whatever it was for me in my life, the Dream Theater just blew it all apart to me because I thought I was cool playing Dokken songs, and then Dream Theater came out, and I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah, I
you
suck.
can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, and so which brings me to you guys have a pretty big show coming up in Peoria, if I'm not wrong. You guys got
Joliet.
Yeah, Joliet. Is it Joliet?
Yeah,
Okay.
Joliet.
Yes, Joliet.
Is it Joliet?
Yep.
And you're opening for a band called 12-Foot Ninja.
12-foot ninja.
You guys are going to open for them.
Yes, we are.
You guys played me their songs, man.
What date is that?
And I was like,
What's the date on that?
12-foot ninja.
April 29th.
April 29th.
Tuesday.
Okay,
Tuesday night.
it's on a Tuesday night.
it's in Joliet.
We have tickets
at
if you want
Mojo's. And
You have tickets?
Shameless plug. Yeah.
those guys, aside from us, those guys are fucking awesome.
They are awesome, dude. I've listened to their shit.
He said
Aside from us,
It's all
inside from our
marketing.
sheer
It's all
incredibleness.
It's all opinion at this point. I think
But
those are
from what I've
Those
heard,
guys are
from
great.
what you've played me, they make you guys look like AC/DC.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that's not a slam. I'm just saying these guys are like freaks.
They're on the cusp of something that's never been done. I think. I mean,
What are you trying to say, B-Minor? That I shouldn't kick snare anymore?
These guys are changing.
Whatever, Phil Rudd. Shut up.
he said, "Fuck you."
Right.
They're changing tuning mid song. Like
They're changing the way that their guitars
programmed.
See, but that's cool to us because we know what that means.
That's
if
what
you're
I'm
just
saying.
listening to the song, Jeff will think it's too busy.
Too artsy and
arts. Yeah, and he.
Because Dusty
It's
Smith.
not though.
check it out,
It's
though.
not though.
You never
That's
know.
the thing about him. That's the thing about him.
What
You don't
was-
have to understand any of that.
All right.
They're
To be like-
extreme
No.
because they're listed as extreme fusion.
I gotta.
They make it sound very, very, very good.
Natural.
They do, yeah, they
Very
do make it sound natural.
natural,
But I remember an episode where you played that band for
In your driveway.
Chris Ermy and Lars Berggren
Yep,
in
in
my
your
driveway.
driveway.
And what was their reaction?
It's too metal.
It's disdain, dude. They were just like, bah.
But they didn't. I mean, they heard 10 seconds of it.
Of course. But I mean, but
There's huge huge like,
changes
depths to that.
Well,
band.
like, have you listened to like Animals as Leaders?
Yes.
You know, like Animals as Leaders. Tosin Abasi. Yeah, he's an amazing guitar player. But to me, boring.
I think that the music that you guys,
that's what I think.
that metal music in itself has to form a relationship with one person at a time. And because if you force something like that onto another, like, check this out, guys, check it out, and you're playing it, it's like, I like it better when I find it myself and I get time to just me listen to it and really listen to it, rather than listen to this part, listen to this part.
Well, my favorite ideas are my own. Right. You know what I mean? That's my favorite idea.
You gotta find that one thing you like. You find that one thing that you like, then you like it all.
Yeah.
Thing.
Right.
Find it, then you like it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I mean, as far as 12 Foot Ninja goes, you find that one piece that's like, that was so badass.
Yeah.
And then you really
And by the way, I love 12 Foot Ninja. And I love Animals as Leaders.
Most bands I fall in love with, though, I don't like. Like, first time I heard System of a Down, Lars.
Yeah, right. I remember that,
like,
man. I was there for that.
I
can't. Yeah, right. You're like,
what is that?
To me, they were so different.
It took me a couple weeks or a month or something.
But when you got it,
oh, this is. And that's what 12 Foot Ninja was.
Like Brian says, then you earn. You earn.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like that band.
No, how much?
Better when you listen to something and don't take it in, check it out like a month later, whatever, a year later, you go back to it
soaks in.
I got it now.
This is what I'm saying is how much of, to bring it back to haters, how much of hatership is being willing to ride on your initial reactions versus what happens when you listen to something a few times and just allow it. You know what I mean? There are a number of bands that ended up being really influential bands to me that if I would have just like listened to them their first time and then just fucking shut them off and it would have never happened. But since I was willing to go back in and let it happen and just take it in and accept it, whatever it was, it ended up, once I got it, I didn't get it right away. You know what I mean? I didn't get it right away. Yep. Once it happened, I found that it was something that was really important. You know, the thing about haters, the thing that's fucked up about haters is that are you just fucking pantomiming me? You're such a dick.
I'm just
no. The thing that's
brain is hurting.
It is, but the thing that's fucked up about haters is that they're riding on some initial impression and they're not letting it soak in. The knee-jerk reaction. Thank you, Rob. The knee-jerk reaction.
Rob needs to be on an episode.
Rob, you just need to be on an episode, man.
By the way, we're at Real Track Studio. That's Rob Simrusty.
Yeah, Rob Simrusty's right over there.
Listen, when you guys buy
sponsor,
when you guys buy this 1152 CD, another day after
right
day
there on the back.
When you buy this CD, and I know you will hear just how professional this studio is. And if you want to do a CD that sounds pro and competes with what's out there, don't do it in your bedroom, guys. Come to Real Tracks, spend a little bit of money. It's not that expensive, and you will have a product that you will be proud of. I guarantee you.
Jose.
But work with Jose.
Work with Jose.
Rob.
Because he knows how to use Steven Slate trigger.
Awesome. Tell him how awesome you made Eric's drum sound.
Rob sat in there and was like,
you don't have to talk about it. Buy the CD.
Right.
You'll hear it yourself.
Yeah, you'll hear it.
Tell him how fucking awesome you helped make Eric's drum sound right here.
Yeah, I helped Jose get everything rigged up and stuff.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you were not involved and that you were not important.
Listen, there's studios
There were
that
a lot of times you were like, Jose, get off your fucking phone. and push record, please. I remember I was here.
Arm the tracks and hit the button.
Yep. There's people that have studios that happen to have the money to buy some equipment, and then there's the guys that know what they're doing. And Rob knows what he's doing. just buying equipment because that's the coolest new thing. He knows exactly how to get the sounds that you're looking for. Right. And right now he's fixing my boom.
Yep. And dropping his marbles.
My boom stand that was actually used on the Animal Sounds record.
Oh, Pet Sounds.
Pet Sounds. It was actually used on Pet Sounds. This arm right here.
That's right. Oh shit, dude.
Is that a turtle sitting on a beanbag again?
No. It wasn't the Turtles, man. It was the Beach Boys.
So while we actually might have Rob in frame, Rob said that he had a question for me, and once you get that fixed, right down there. Are you doing my vasectomy right now?
Nah, that's what I was gonna say. When you say fixed, do you mean vasectomy?
Yeah.
Stay off your feet for a couple. Here he comes. Here he comes. All right.
So what's the question?
Get on in there.
The question is, if it's minor disturbance radio, how come I can see you? Because radio, I don't see people.
That's right.
That's a very good question.
And minor disturbance video or minor disturbance everything?
It's kind of
minor disturbance cinema. I think is actually
what it kind of is it's kind of a slap in the face in what radio really is anymore. And I just kind of said radio as kind of a joke because it's not radio. Obviously, I'm not Dwyer or Michaels or Goose
Nor do you want to be.
Noticed this.
or Red Hot Brian Scott. I am
or Steve Ketelaar.
Not Red Hot Brian Scott?
no, I'm not.
Totally thought
But you know who you are?
Who am I?
You're Spike at the mic.
That's good though. That's a good thing.
Did you really?
I don't know what that means, but
And that's something.
to answer the question, it just didn't sound cool to say minor disturbance podcast, and that's basically what this is. And I want to remind everybody that's watching the show, our doors are fucking open. If you want to come sit at the table with us and talk music, to get it off your chest, if you want to be a part of this, you're watching it thinking that looks like a lot of fun because it is fun, isn't it?
It's great.
It is.
Yeah.
Not all at once.
Yeah, exactly. Please don't rush to the microphone.
It is really fun. Thank you for having us.
It is really fun.
Listen, we always try to do an hour-long show, and it always ends up being 3 hours because these people won't fucking leave, and they're having such a good time.
I don't want to leave.
Every
I don't
time.
leave either, dude.
Every time we have fun.
We do.
So anyway, the door's open to everybody. It's not just one band or whatever. My door's open for anybody. You want to come talk fucking shop with us? Come on MDR, and we will get it done. That's all I'm saying.
Or send questions if we're not talking about something that you want to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And I appreciate all the shares and everybody that comments on the videos and or all the people that don't really.
No, that's what makes it happen.
Absolutely.
People
we do
share.
it for people to listen. We want you to take a break of your normal life, put the earbuds in, listen to us talk shop, and at some point come on the show and talk shop with us. We don't give a shit.
I feel like I should do the...
Zoom in like I really
Right.
I can do that with my editing stuff. With
Rob says he
all
should.
the haters though. If you got a fucking problem, come sit down here and talk to us.
Right.
yeah.
Right here.
Or
No.
if you have any drumming questions,
Yeah, right.
hit
What
me
are
up.
you? Now wait a minute. Is this Flores in the lab?
Flores in the lab. Yes.
Hit me up. If you want to know what I'm playing or what I'm using,
What
or
I'm drinking.
what
I'm
my boot
drinking.
size is, what my boot size is.
These boots are made for sitting.
The whole idea of this podcast is to get some exposure for all the bands that are around here. I don't care what style of music that you're playing or what your angle is. The door is wide open. I just like the conversation. I'm making all kinds of new friends. I'm really happy that I did this. And like I said, thank you guys for being a part of it and being behind it. Especially this little sticker on your CDs that mentioned Minor Disturbance Radio. That's killer.
That's pretty badass.
I love that.
Cool, man.
That's
That's
pretty
awesome.
badass, man. Yeah, golf clap.
We appreciate you.
Golf clap.
We appreciate
Indeed.
it.
Yeah,
Thank you very
for
much.
sure. For sure.
So like I said, I get to vicariously kind of live through you guys and watch. When I watch you guys kicking ass up there, I'm sitting down here proud as hell.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be talking the way I do about you if I didn't really feel that way.
He
So-
wouldn't be an ass licker.
Yeah.
Like he is. If,
You are the ones that are the
ball lickers, dude. That is the best line in that movie. You are the ones who are the ball lickers, and every single one of you motherfuckers is gonna pay.
What I thought was great was
That's
the news
the best.
report. It was like exploit deleted and exploit deleted.
Yeah, right.
Hey, real quick, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Brian B Minor was getting sentimental on us.
He was though.
Let's let him finish.
Well, I can't remember what I was saying now, but
I'm sorry, Brian.
Thanks, Trav.
That's my fault.
Sometimes you be remembered. Sometimes you don't.
Be remembering.
I don't know.
Who knows?
Let it go. Just let it go.
Anyway, my point is that you're a very good band. I wouldn't be talking about the band the way that I do if you weren't truly something that I think is fresh and oh goddamn guys.
God damn it.
Anyway, Minor Disturbance Radio signing off. We'll see you guys next time.
Real good time.
Really? That was hilarious.
Good, because I got to do that.
It's so out.